Hey there, Taurus. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 19th. We're going to jump right in here, Taurus, and we're going to do a Celtic Cross style reading for this week. And you start off in your general energies with this Page of Wands here. It's kind of weird because a lot of people have had the Page of Wands. I'm wondering if people are kind of like antsy or, definitely you, I feel at the very least, based off this reading, could be kind of like anxious to get moving on something here, in your life. Or some of you might be anxious for results is what I'm getting as well. So like if you've been putting work into a project or a business or even in a relationship, I kind of feel, I almost dropped it, right? It's always you that I drop cards in, but, I feel there's this like anxiousness for, forward progress or to see progress in the first place with this Page of Wands. Also could be love. With the Page of Cups, you have you have three kings here: King of Pentacles, King of Cups, and King of Swords. So some of you might have a choice in love. Doesn't matter what gender you're interested in. I feel like they're just showing up as kings, basically. And so that's interesting. It literally could be three people for some of you, is what I would say. And it kind of looks like you're going to choose. If it's not three, it's definitely two: King of Pentacles, King of Cups. But I feel like you're going to choose the more mature situation here, and I do feel like that's going to be, I feel you will be very happy with that choice if that message is for you. I'm also just getting an energy of adventure with the Page of Wands. Some of you, I feel, your crossing energy is the Eight of Cups. So for some of you, you're definitely dealing with a situation here. Some of you, it's like maybe you're dealing with two people and you have to walk away from one. So that could be for some of you. For others, I feel like that's the other person's issue, as in someone that you are dealing with has to walk away from another person. And so I feel that's like what is preventing something, as far as a relationship is concerned, from maybe reaching its full potential at this very moment. Let's put it that way. For others, I do feel that this is encouraging you to just walk away from things that no longer serve you. Eight of Cups is literally about walking towards fulfillment. So I would make sure that you are moving more and more towards things that lead to fulfillment. In the area of your thoughts, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is a card of kind of having a nightmare, waking up, and being stuck in a nightmare. So it can represent like a never-ending story or something, kind of like thoughts that are going round and round and round in your head. So I do feel for some of you, this is encouraging you to get out of your head, of course. I also feel it's encouraging you to maybe focus on work that you can do well. And I say that because you have the Eight of Pentacles right here, kind of directly. If my camera worked the way I wanted it to, this would be right here. If I could get it to fit in frame, or if I could figure out where to put the cards in the first place. But, it would be right across from it, this Eight of Pentacles. And I feel that there is like work that you can do well, is what that's saying. And I feel that's what you need to focus on with that energy. Also, in the area of your foundation, you have the Seven of Cups. It's like you actually have very good ideas. But I think that your challenge is the other things that are in these cups. Like the Seven of Cups is a card of being spoiled for choice. I like the Seven of Cups because it's a card of being spoiled for choice. But sometimes I think we just need to pick a cup and make it happen and not worry about all the challenging things that are also in those cups. Because again, there's like some good things and some bad things in these cups, but it represents the fact that you could be coming up with a good idea, but then thinking about all the things that could happen, might happen, probably never will happen, right? So it's a card of like really that says before you think about what something is going to turn into or what it's going to be in your life, you need to experience it first, because you can't just like assume life. You can't just assume what is going to happen without actually experiencing it. Well, you can, but then you'll never know the true answer. So, I kind of feel like this reading, I feel like that's really the gist of the reading, is it's asking you to get the answers on your life, but in what you want for your life and the experiences you want to have, but it's saying like to experience them in the flesh, in not in just your head, right? In the past, you have the King of Pentacles, which is your energy. I do feel that some of you could be moving away from something stable. I do get the sense that either you or a person, if you are dealing with another person right now, it's like you or another person maybe has to move away from something stable or that was stable in their life. And so, definitely something I would think about For some of you, I feel that you're already dealing with a person who already is separated from a person, but there could still be connection there. And so, I would definitely be careful of that with the King of Pentacles. Other than that, I do feel that some of you are realizing that you have to leave a comfort zone. I think all of you are realizing you have to leave comfort zones right now to get the things you want. Eight of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles is kind of like being able to put work into something and seeing a result in the future. And that's what I feel like you want. Next, in the very near future, you have the King of Cups. The King of Cups is kind of like an adventure. It can represent your emotions. It can represent having deep emotions, but he's sitting in choppy waters, the King of Cups, and he doesn't really care what's going on around him. He is in control of his emotions. So he doesn't allow those choppy waters to determine like how his life goes or how he experiences things. He chooses to be positive or in control of his emotions no matter what. I think that's important for you. He can also represent going to uncharted territory or going to uncharted seas. So basically going on adventures. And again, there's been a lot of adventure energy in the readings this week for whatever reason. Again, I kind of think it's because people, there's also Mars retrograde. I think Mars retrograde sometimes can make us like antsy, can make us want to see progress or make us want something to happen. And I kind of get that feeling for you here. I feel this way. Like I just want something to happen. What? I have no freaking clue. And you probably don't know either. But, I kind of have that energy of just like wanting something to happen, right? And I feel like that's where you are. Over the next few months, you have the Ten of Wands. Ten of Wands is like I feel like you are slowly releasing burdens. I personally like the Ten of Wands as well. I mean, to me, tens are cards of completion in the tarot. But the Ten of Wands, he's about to put down his harvest. And you can see in this picture, he hasn't quite made it all the way to his home here. So I do feel like this is saying, don't give up on something. I feel like it is saying keep going. But I really feel there's really not much you have to do right now. I feel like you are going to be kind of experiencing some rewards, or maybe not rewards, but you're like releasing the burdens from what you have been working on. Next, in the area of your closest relationships, you have the Two of Pentacles. I see like very busy. I see a lot of busyness here. Some of you, this could be even business. You could be communicating with a person as a business partner. You could be working together with a person or, kind of teaming up with people. Like all that stuff is popping into my head. I do feel that if you are doing that, like if you are teaming up with a person, there's something here about needing to make sure that you're, that what each person is doing is equal. I would make sure that you're not like doing too much work is kind of what I'm getting here. And I would make sure that if you're teaming up with a person that they're doing enough work as well. It needs to be balanced is what I'm getting. I also do feel that some of you are seeing results if you are doing any relationship work at all, period. Doesn't even have to just be love relationships. You might be working, on healing family issues or any of that stuff. Then I see very quick results. And it is popping into my head that some of you could be working on like family relationships or friendships even, and that would be good. Two of Pentacles on top of all that is also work hard, play hard. So I would make sure that because here in the area of your future feelings, you have the Eight of Pentacles, which basically says work hard, play hard. Really this says you're working hard, but I feel like you need to make sure that you are doing things to enjoy yourself. I feel like you need to make sure that you're doing things that kind of fulfill you and lead to more fulfillment in your life. But I also, I feel for a lot of you, money could actually be improving significantly. I feel like you're, happy with the work that you're doing as well with the Eight of Pentacles. So I feel some of you could be feeling fulfilled in work. If you are doing work where you're not feeling fulfilled, then you might be also making that change with the Eight of Pentacles. But overall, I feel like this is saying that your future feelings are fulfillment. Even though the Eight of Pentacles isn't really a card of fulfillment, it kind of is because he's getting paid for the work that he's doing. Even if you don't work, even if you're retired, you could be working on relationships with your family. You could be working on your health or whatever. So this can be profit in other senses of the word as well. Your outcome is the King of Swords. Something about law and order here. Again, we're going to go through this whole entire reading. We're going to clarify it in just a second. But I am getting something here about law and order. Is it a legal situation? No. For some of you, it could be a legal situation. But I feel like something is more balanced. I feel like something is much more worth it. And again, for a lot of you, it could be work. Like if you've been doing a job that isn't worth it, then this could be you getting a new job or something different. I also do feel that that is the person that you're picking. So if you are looking for love, could be like an older person, someone who's older than you that you are picking. Could also just be, a very mature person. You could be younger, same age, whatever. But definitely could be love. With the Page of Wands and the Eight of Cups, you have the Page of Wands. So, basically the universe saying, I meant what I said. I always think that, it's pretty crazy that every single person, I'm pretty sure, I've done 6 readings. I've done half the reading so far this week, and every single person has had the Page of Wands so far, I'm pretty sure, which is weird. I feel that really, to me, it's Pluto in Aquarius. We don't have Pluto in Aquarius yet, but in March, we're going to have Pluto going into Aquarius. It's going to retrograde out pretty quickly as well. It's not going to stay there for very long, but it's kind of like the beginning of Pluto in Aquarius. And I don't know, I keep saying, like, fortune favors the bold. I think that if you want to be super successful, innovate, come up with new ways of doing things, different ways of doing things. The same old is not going to work, plain and simple. And Page One is all about going on an adventure. Innovation is an adventure. You have to discover what you want to innovate. I was just talking about this book. I just listened to this book again. It's one of my favorite books of all time, called Skip the Line by James Altucher. And he talks about kind of something that changed my life. Even before I read the book, I started making 1% improvements on this channel. And he talks about how if you make a 1% improvement every single day, it's, 365%, it equals, I don't know. He does some crazy math. I'm not a math person, right? And it's like a crazy amount of improvement that you can make over a year if you just do 1% a day. I'm living proof, right? This channel, because I'm constantly doing like 1% improvements. But I kind of get that here with the Page of Wands. Is like, this is, you improving day after day. And yeah, it takes some time, but I think it'll be worth it. With the Nine of Swords, here you go. You have the other king, the King of Wands. There could be like an emperor type energy person coming in for you. I actually really like that they're showing up as the 4 kings. And again, take it how it resonates. It could be any gender. So, I'm not attaching gender here, but I feel like it's like a real go-getter, someone who is fully integrated as well. The reason I like emperor energy as all 4 kings showing up in a reading is because, again, it kind of like highlights the integration. It's someone who is very well balanced. They're probably not perfect. I always like to remind people that nobody's perfect, but this person is pretty darn perfect if it's a person coming in for you. Look at this. This is crazy. With the 7 of Cups, you have the King of Pentacles. So you showing up in your reading twice definitely puts you in a strong position. I do think you're thinking a lot is what I would say. There is a little bit of a, overthinking energy going on here. I think that's like maybe your own worst enemy is overthinking things to death. Like if you start something, just do it. It's kind of funny that you always get the 7 of Cups with me. I'm pretty sure, like every single reading I do for you, you have the 7 of Cups, and I keep telling you to just go straight for the thing that you want. Because that's always the message I get for you. People are always like, you always repeat yourself. I'm always like, I don't know, maybe you need to listen, right? But I feel that there's something, and again, I'm repeating myself because clearly it's very important for you here, Taurus. Like, I feel like there is something that you want. It's like, imagine if you wanted to be the president, and this is a ridiculous example, but if you just started saying, I'm the president, maybe, and just started being the president, maybe you could just skip the line. Maybe that's a good book for you to read, is Skip the Line, because I feel like some of you, it's like you're not skipping anything. I think that the 7 of Cups says that maybe you've been undervaluing the experiences that you've been having your whole entire life. And I feel like you need to realize that you're, again, like I feel like you have a lot more value than you give yourself credit for, is what this is saying. It's almost as if you could just skip right to something. I think your brain is telling you that you're skipping ahead, but you're not because you've done the work, is what I'm trying to say. I hope this makes sense. Probably not. With the King of Cups, or King of Pentacles, sorry, you have the Moon card. I feel like you've been in a time of uncertainty. I feel like you've been in a time where maybe you're just not sure like what direction to take your life or where you want your life to go and blah, 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 blah. But you're moving past this. Wouldn't even worry about it. With the King of Cups, you have the Queen of Swords. Exactly what I said. Clarity. Like I said, I feel you are leaving a moon period behind, a period of confusion, maybe heightened emotions, or maybe you've been feeling pulled between 2 things, because there's always a dog and a wolf, or a dog and coyote, whichever you prefer. I don't care. On the Moon card, it kind of represents like our domestic side and our wild side. And it says like when we're integrated, 4 kings, well, you have 5 kings, but technically 4, right? When we're fully integrated, when we integrate our wild side and our domestic side, we can be pretty successful, but maybe you've had too much of one or the other. Maybe you've been too wild. Maybe you've been too domestic and you need to get into the woods, right? So I feel like some of you are finally integrating, and that's why you're probably just seeing things clearly with that card. With the 10 of Wands, you have the Hierophant, you showing up in even more, pretty crazy that you go King of Pentacles, and then Hierophant over the next few months. It's almost as if you're stepping into your true self, like Hierophant energy. I also feel that you could be connecting more to source. I do feel like there is an element of trust here. You trusting yourself, but also trusting the messages you receive. I think sometimes people think like intuitively that they're going to hear a voice in their head or something like that. And I'm not saying that doesn't happen for some people, but what I am saying is that this reading to me, you have the Wands cards, all the Wands. Page of Wands, the King of Wands, Page of Wands twice technically, and the Ten of Wands. These are cards of moving towards desire. So maybe intuitively, maybe you're not getting messages, but maybe you feel like you should be moving in a certain direction. I'm saying this because the Hierophant is the bridge between the heavens and the earth. He communicates with the other side and he brings it down to earth. So it's almost like you are being intuitively guided at this time. You need to trust yourself. With the Two of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Cups. You're really in this space of protecting your peace here, Taurus. I feel like you're very focused on, protecting your happiness, your joy, your own abundance, all those things. And I really feel this is a good thing. Again, this is coming up in the area of your closest relationships. But I really feel like you're kind of really focused on your own fulfillment. And it's not like you're being selfish or something like that. I just feel you're protecting your peace, like I said. And sometimes I think when we do this, when we put ourselves first, guess what? We attract a person who is also putting themselves first. And when that happens, that's like the perfect relationship because then you're attracting someone who doesn't need someone else. They want someone else. There's a big difference between need and want, right? So when we attract like a healthy, balanced person who is perfectly capable of fulfilling their own needs, wants, and desires, and they don't need you, it's like then, that looks pretty good to me. And again, you're like the same way. That's what you're working towards, I feel. So kind of like very well balanced. I also would make a wish if I were you. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have the Three of Pentacles. Teamwork makes the dream work, and look at this right here. I always say that this Three of Pentacles, or this Eight of Pentacles, look, there's the Three Pentacles right above my finger. Three of Pentacles is a card of quality work, and I say it all the time with Uranus and Taurus. I would be focusing on quality, not necessarily quantity, especially if you're trying to get something like a raise or a promotion or whatever. Like I would be really looking for those bangers where you can like really stand out, right? So, I think it's better to kind of like focus if you have a job where you do projects or something like that, to like really focus on one, it might be better to do that, or just to focus on quality. The other way to look at this, especially with the Three of Pentacles, sorry, I flipped that upside down, especially with the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles, would be like, are there certain activities that you do to make money that do better than other activities? Again, I think because of school, or I don't freaking know why, but for some reason, I think all of us, I'm guilty of this too. I think we're like taught that we sometimes have to do things that we don't want to do, but really we don't. Really, we don't have to do anything, right? And I think that some of us need to realize that, especially like in work or business. If there's an activity that you don't want to do, can someone else do it, number one? And number two, do you even need to do it? Or would it be better, again, read that book, skip the line. He talks about the 80-20 rule in that book as well. And, it's like, or are there activities that move the needle forward that make you more money and you should just focus on those things instead of wasting your time doing certain things that you don't want to do? I don't know. I can't answer that question for you, but, you have to be able to answer that question for yourself. I also feel like in love, I love the Three of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles. I feel like you could be, again, attracting a person, emperor status type person who really puts in the work into the relationship. With the King of Swords here, you have the King of Swords. How crazy. This is crazy. None of the other readings were like this, with all the kings showing up here, which is pretty crazy. Part of me wonders if you're embracing emperor status as well. And again, it doesn't matter what gender you are. It's almost as if you could be very focused on taking certain actions, to become very successful. I want to pull this card right here. You have this message in a bottle card. Something needs to come out. The message is stuck in the bottle. The message is inside of you, though. Normally, this is a card of receiving a message, but I feel this card is saying there's a message inside of you, Taurus, that needs to be revealed. Can we just see? I haven't done this for anyone else. I just need to know. I need to know something. What is up with all these kings? Can we get some clarity, please? You have the Nine of Swords. So we saw the Nine of Swords already in your reading. Overthinking type energy. You have the Seven of Wands. This has to do with confidence, I feel. Seven of Wands is a card of defending your position at the top of the hill. But to me, it's an energy that says when you know that you're going to be successful, you will be very successful. And you have the Page of Cups. Definitely could be a love offer coming in for you. Definitely could be a love offer that you're worried about. Like maybe you're unsure But I'm telling you right now, if there's a person coming in for you, could be any sign, could be an Aries, because I basically have been saying the Emperor this entire time, but could be any. You have everything here, literally. Then I feel that you should go for it. I feel it could be something that is very worthwhile, very much, something that you're gonna want. So I would say go for it. We're going to pull 5 main themes now here, Taurus, and you have this Valley card. It says deep personal strength and peace that assures success. I'm pretty sure I said something about, protecting your peace or something like that. I don't remember what I was saying there, but that's clearly going to be very important for you, only for like a short period of time, right? Sometimes I think we just need to do this. Sometimes maybe we just need to disconnect from the world or certain people in our life just so we can kind of protect our peace, right? But I also feel like you're entering into a time of deep personal peace. You have this wishbone card. It says a wish granted. There you go, 9 of Cups. So definitely make a wish. And you have this dagger card. It says fears, worries, tense situation. I do feel like some of you could be just worried about the future in general, like everybody else. I do feel we kind of need to flip that around. It's kind of interesting because, again, we have the whole Pluto and Aquarius thing. The first, few years are actually pretty good compared to, what we've been dealing with. I've seen a lot of astrologers, and I'm not saying they're wrong either, but, I've seen a lot of astrologers, kind of talking about Pluto and Aquarius as being something, scary, or that there could be some sort of, takeover, or, something weird happening, aliens landing and making us slaves, or something crazy like that, right? And, I would say unless Mark Zuckerberg gets his act together with Facebook, we probably don't have to worry about him for much longer, right? Number two, like I said, I actually don't see that happening. I think that we could, there could be a turnaround here where some good things can happen. It's going to be up to us. I think that's what people need to realize about the Aquarius energy. It's very independent. No one's going to save us. Zuckerberg's definitely not going to save us. Bill Gates isn't going to save us. We have to save ourselves, right? So very independent. So I feel like I'm team human personally. So as long as us humans get it together and start coming up with our own solutions, not the solutions that they give us, the people, the reptile aliens that rule over us, right? I just lost half of you, so there you go. But as long as we come up with the solutions, I think things will be better. You have this dog far away. It says a distant friend is thinking of you. I literally feel there could be a friend who is thinking of you. So if you have a friend and if they pop into your head, maybe you should reach out to them. Maybe you should send them a message or something. I feel like it's just a friend, not like love or anything like that. I think it's just someone who wants to talk to you. Next, you have this chair-filled card. It says someone new is entering into your life. Definitely new love. This person's a boss. I'm telling you right now. It doesn't matter what gender. I feel like this person is a total boss. You have 19 kings in this reading. I mean, crazy. I've never seen anything like this. So, I would go for it, is what I would say. I feel like this person lifts a lot of burdens. I feel lighter with this person. So, I would go for it, but looks really good. So thank you for being here, Taurus. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your Sun, Moon, and Rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your week.